I'm in my shower.
Thank you, thanks, John. I'm really a little choked up to see this thing come to fruition. This has been a long time coming. People have worked on this for so long, not only on the vision piece of it, but also making it happen. This is big, and frankly, I couldn't be happier. I tell people I think we've changed the culture in Indianapolis regarding cycling and exercise, and I think this is a big piece of it right here. Anybody who hasn't been in the market for a couple of years will walk in it today and just can't believe it. And when they come here, they'll wonder what happened. It's a fantastic use of the east wing of the city market. It looks unbelievable. Very unique bicycle parking and fitness facility. The gym inside with the YMCA and the BGI in there. There really is nothing like it in the country. It supports the city's growing ranks of bicycle commuters. And it's very noticeable on the streets, the growing ranks of the bicycle commuters. And it really is. Deputy Mayor Williams and his bishop are out riding bikes all the time. The fact that he picked that up, I shouldn't say his age, but I will, in his 60s, and feels better than he has in so long, really is very, very special. And tells me that we've really struck a chord. I suppose we'll have to start riding into work together now. And even though some of you, not all of you, some of you know the story of the big lockers in here and how important that was to me. And we got them. We got them in there, which is nice, so that people can put a week's worth of clothes and etc. in there, so they can ride to work every day. And I just think that's a big piece of this. But what this really is, behind us, is a bunch of stakeholders, great stakeholders, coming together for a common goal. It's not just the facility, but it says something about our community, the increased livability, creating that type of city where men and women want to live and where companies want to do business. This is so important. This is such an important piece of that. And this is just one of, as you know, many of the cycling related improvements and activities throughout central Indiana now, and the city of Indianapolis in particular. You know, recently MassApp just hosted another successful criterium. And just before that, a few weeks before that, the city hosted the second annual Indy Crit in July to great acclaim. And we all know that the Major Taylor Velodrome is getting the love and care that it deserves through a partnership with Marion University. In fact, the National Collegiate Cycling Championships are this weekend at Marion University. That is what is happening in our city. But there's so much more. We've gone from basically 0 or 1 to, at the end of this year, over 60 miles of bike lanes in Indianapolis. The goal is to get county to county, north to south, east to west. We're going to have north to south this year. We're going to have north to south this year. So that's amazing by itself. And I was, a couple of weeks ago, I took a little time off in the afternoon and rode down from downtown, down Shelby, over to Madison, and came back up Madison to see where the bike lanes are going to be. Trust me, they're needed. They're needed. We were riding pretty fast on those roads. But that's the sort of thing that I think is going to make a big difference in our city, when we can go around the city and through the city to get to different places. And you can ride your bike to places. It's not just about riding for fitness per se, even though you get the fitness, but if it's an alternative form of transportation, you can get to work that way. You can get to a place that you just want to go visit for the day. You can go to a park over here. You could go to the IMA. You can come to the city market and hang out for a few hours. If you have an easy way to get there through these bike lanes and trails, that's the important piece of it. That's really what we're trying to do. Indigo buses are equipped with carrier racks. No excuse there. And then, because of all this, you know that we have been getting a lot of national attention on bicycle-friendly cities through Bicycling Magazine and Biketown USA. So for the first time ever, those organizations are recognizing Indianapolis. And I think that's special by itself. And we want to make it easy for everybody to get on a bike and get from place to place, either just for the exercise or just as part of their daily routine. And we're trying to make that as easy as possible. So this is an important step of this. I just think it's so important for us to come out and celebrate us. I was kind of surprised by how many people were here today, but it just says that we really have struck a chord here. We've made a difference in what is happening with the number of bike lanes and the trails that will be increasing throughout the city. All the partners coming together. So many people using these facilities, young and old, and it just really is touching to see people get out and do that sort of thing. You can always come down to the city market and hang out, have fun here at the YMCA Bike Hub, or have a little good chow in the middle wing. It's just terrific. And I'm so pleased that so many people are engaged in this. The partners have been terrific. We got it. We got it done. And I'm just so thrilled that we got this done for our city. So now I'd like to introduce the president of the YMCA, Eric Ellsworth, who's done such a good job in our city. He does so much work. Eric.
Thank you, Mayor. I know that you've got a busy schedule today, and we've got maybe the first official Indy Bike Hub YMCA t-shirt to present to you. Let everybody take a look here.
All right.
My sincere thanks to so many, but especially to Mayor Ballard for making this day possible. He's the visionary behind this, what we see here today, and we wouldn't be here today if it weren't for him. I'd like to also thank the YMCA staff, the boards of directors of both the YMCA at the Athenaeum and also the board of directors of the YMCA of Greater Indianapolis. I'd like to thank my friend Wayne Schmidt, who's the board chairman of the City Market, for working alongside us on this project, and we've talked about this today for a long time. We're looking forward to working with our partners, the City of Indianapolis, the City Market, BGI Fitness, and the whole downtown community. It takes a village to raise something like this. We're excited about it. You know, the big goal of the YMCA is to help make Indianapolis one of the healthiest cities in America. And as the mayor said, we're on our way to that day. This is going to be a little bit of a pun, but the Indy Bike Hub YMCA will be one small cog in the wheel of improving the health and wellness of the community. There's so much more work to do to increase the health of the community, but we're joining hands with the city, and our goal is to increase the number of people who ride their bicycles not only to work during the work week, but also just for pleasure and for fitness. We've got a wonderful asset in the cultural trail, which is just over here to my left, your right, and I see hundreds of programming opportunities between the Indy Bike Hub YMCA and the cultural trail, which is right here. What a great asset for our community. I hope you'll all join us to help us fill the place up. It's our goal to have a couple thousand members of this Bike Hub YMCA, maybe 3,000 people using it on an annual basis, and what we're anticipating is about 180,000 visits to this center on an annual basis. So we want to thank you for joining us on this important occasion and for being a partner along with us in the health of the community. In closing, I'd like to invite everyone to ride your bike to work downtown on September 16th and park your bicycle here at the Indy Bike Hub YMCA just to try it out. So I hope you'll all join me in that. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Randy Clark, the founder and president of BGI Fitness.
Thank you, Eric. Welcome to the nation's premier bicycling commuter hub. Combined with the YMCA, you have got a unique and world-class facility, to be sure. Our role here will be, am I too close? The sale of select bicycle clothing and accessories, repair and maintenance services, bike rentals, and hopefully one day soon, city bike tours that focus on the history and legacy of the city. Also very, very pleased that this facility will house two very important advocacy organizations for bicycling. That is Bicycle Indiana, which is our statewide advocacy organization. Nancy Tibbett, the executive director. There's Nancy.
What are your feelings about your new digs now that you've moved from the offices at the Pan Am Plaza to here?
We love the new place. It really is exciting to be here. There's lots of good energy, people with like-minded goals and ambitions. Not that, and the other place was awesome too, and we're thankful to have been there, but this is just perfect. So we're very excited to be here.
How does this enhance Bicycle Indiana in its stance?
Well, launching perhaps not, but when we were listening to the remarks, and I think it was Mr. Ellsworth was talking about how many expected visitors to this facility, that would be huge, just to have the opportunity to expose Bicycle Indiana to, I think he said 180,000 a year, I think is the number he used. Because we have a challenge as a statewide advocacy organization that people even know we exist. So this gives us so much more opportunity for exposure, to let people know we are out here, we're advocating for bicyclist rights.
Do you have as much space as you had before?
We have as much space, but it's just differently laid out. So we have some storage facility in the basement, and then we have the office space up on the second floor. So it's going to work out perfect. So we're really no spatial problems at all. But things that we want to do now that we're in here and we think we can get more exposure to are traffic skills classes, as an example. It seems like a great place to promote our traffic skills classes, whether we're hosting them here or just letting people know that they can take them. So we just think that there will be a much better opportunity to reach out to the community for the outreach efforts of safety and education. So that's another reason we're really excited to be here.
Notably, you're close to Indy COG, an advocacy group here in central Indiana. What are your comments or thoughts about that?
Well, Kevin, the president of Indy COG, and I work very closely together. So it's really good synergies there too, two like-minded organizations. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about putting a little sign on our window. It's like, Bicycle Indiana and Indy COG, your local and state advocacy partners. So it's just great. We complement each other.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
And now for some closing remarks, Wayne Schmidt, the board chair of the City Market.
What a tremendous partnership this is, and just by evidence of the number of people here today to help dedicate this bicycle hub. And I guess the other message I would have is that the market is back. Just look around, walk through today, stop and talk to the stand holders, stop at the farmers market on the way, because this is all about healthy living and healthy food. Indiana grown food at that. So enjoy your time down here today, come back often, and thank you all for coming.